Hello, everybody. My name is Darius J. Wright, and I've always had out-of-body experiences. I had out-of-body experiences as a child, accessing things without understanding them. It wasn't until I started controlling this state that I discovered you could leave your body and enter the other side at will. I'm delighted to discuss near-death experiences on this platform because many people think they're one-time events. This can be controlled and accessed at will, accessing the other side and out-of-body stuff. Because out-of-body experiences are precisely that, controlled near-death experiences. I've seen a lot on the other side since you left your body with me as a child. Many people think the other side is airy-fairy, but it's not. It's limitless bodily pleasure. After death, your soul is physical, there's contact, and everything is there, right? Out-of-body states have given me access to the construct, which is our world. Like our bodies, this environment is ingeniously designed. Knowing that everything is intelligently created lets us break down how the body works depending on the build. I also accessed deceased relatives. Uncle Bob taught me about the tremendous mission of awakening people to the other side and its numerous dimensions. All of the 12 realms, originally 13 months, are based on 13, and they all relate. All my discoveries, the records, as people call them. There are numerous records based on this design, although not necessarily con records. There are soul recordings, which are your soul experiences, creation records, and realm records in this build. I've gone to the celestial records, cathedral records, and halls of Mentee. To conclude, I perform a controlled NDE, which is easy, because the electromagnetic field of the body is aggressively targeted. Science-minded folks can utilize this to understand why increasing electromagnetic field dormantizes various body parts. Hearts are electromagnetic fields, as established by science. Certain body cells activate when this field is increased. This is why the body gets attacked. After accessing your soul and returning to the body, many near-death experiencers would affirm this. When the soul returns to the body, some things awaken, such as an extreme language or cell functions. Understanding again and standing for the second time wakes up your cells. This is your rebirth as an infinite being. You live forever in your soul. Death doesn't exist, and everything continues forever there. There are beings you'll meet, entities I've met that I don't recall the first time. I feel like I've known them forever, but I don't remember their names, so you communicate with them. The longer you stay, the more this recollection returns. My Uncle Bob contributed his tremendous effort waking people up to the other side, which I've covered. This relates to my soul mission, as I've been invited to stay on the other side more times than I can count. I even called friends and said, if I choose whatever, but I'll keep that on the lower end. My current mission is amazing work, not something. I'm drawn to do it because I know that if I don't, I'll bear anguish on the other side when I cross over for good. Uncle Bob showed me things I could have done with unconditional love, and it brought me to my knees in pain. I was judging myself, not him, since no one judges you. I'm attempting to light as many flames as possible to convince people that your soul lives on forever. The other side is real, and it's your home. Many people have forgotten what it's like to be away from home for a long period. This is why they're always afraid, anxious, and panicked. Once on the other side, it's always there. Souls are immortal. I'll take this in two directions, but when you're on the other side, in your soul, you can construct an experience. So many individuals create this in their dreams. Because thoughts become reality, they're creating their paradigms, sometimes to hell. The bodily sense is basic. We are physical creators, not spirit creators. When you're out of your body, your thoughts appear immediately. After learning how to navigate out of their body, people may be able to govern their dimensional spaces. In addition, the soul creates. Our current location is because of this. Why incarnate into the physical body? Because incarnation only occurs in the earthly worlds. Your soul does not need to be born into a creation and die to leave it. Hence, incarnation does not exist elsewhere. When you're there and experiencing particular things, you enter a world, realm, or construct for your soul to enjoy, and then you exit. No oblivion occurs. You remember everything. With the facts I have, I'll say this as clearly as in earlier interviews. This construct was designed to experience what we're not. I'll end here since experiencing what we're not provides you perceptual insight that could never have been born otherwise. This is why many people think awakening is fairy tale-like. Love and light exist, but your soul feels many more feelings. Wake up to it, and everything changes. Not everyone lives in a simulation. A simulation starts with a false premise. Everything is generated by the eternal soul. See, that soul, whatever it makes, a matrix, is still organic energy from the source head. Even terrible events come from the source head. Something causes it, right? There's something. People should also consider that Star Wars has a light and dark side to the Force. Light and darkness use the Force, the source of all creation. At the beginning of everything, love, unconditional love, created all things. However, many have lost the power of that cornerstone and assume love is passive. Love, like invention, may be used as a weapon. I provide the example of a mother or father, but usually a mother. If the mother loves her child unconditionally, the child is at risk. That mother's unwavering love will overcome all obstacles. Since love generates everything, it is the foundation of everything. People say simulation isn't biological, but it comes from somewhere. It all has a long history. Each person is the star of their own film. Many individuals like to take the back seat, yet everyone is experiencing their own movie, and they can manage it. This is why individuals are so weakened to believe otherwise that they cannot control it. Thus, they reduce physical bodies' electromagnetic fields. Thus, the vigorous attack on multiple fronts. The body's physical health is attacked to keep things dormant, right? People say spiritual warfare is about letting go of ego and other things, since who you are when you go does not alter. Nothing changes. Your current self will not alter after you depart and pass over. Your only change will be that more will be added while you stay. You'll recall former lives, things, time, and dimensions. B, the build, its creation, and the creation of all things, changes only in memory, but you remain the same in this moment. Some people sign, I want to do this and that, so they meet particular people or have certain experiences. I mentioned fixed events before, and when you grasp the nature of the construct, you discover that it has cycles starting, fixed event markers. Time itself isn't pinpointable, but event markers are. Let me illustrate. December is coming. Event signs. The days to December are unclear, but there's an event marker, say December amid months. December has an event marker. A milestone will arrive in December. The construct has pre-event markers. This is why you can notice history repeating in the text when you visit particular entries in the out-of-body. Certain cycles and such have recur. Many resets, massive floods, the old world, giants, angels, and heaven on earth happened here. The HS of M was part of Atlantis. All was here. So all souls could access all realms and other land masses at one point in this architecture. Many UR races are on Earth's land masses beyond the poles. This is why the Antarctic Treaty prohibits going beyond a particular point. Why do you think? Because they don't want the public to see what's beyond that. As mentioned, these things produce these beings. Okay, I remember being out of my body and seeing part of Antarctica, where some of the original bodies, giant bodies, are still in stasis, and the pyramids are there, some of which are still activated. There are still activation points here in the earthly realm of pyramids underneath the ocean, right? At one time, all of this was open, so when I talk about heaven on earth, that's not here now, but it was always here. Thus, you may discover all the history here, at least the bits they haven't obliterated. I showed that as far back as 16 years old by being dubbed Celeste, and the fulfillment of this was a celebration of remembering all things anew. I showed that remembering all things means knowing who we are, where we are, the beings who have been here this whole time, etc. all come again. Yes, if you're biblical, heaven does come back on earth again, but it's an entire completion of this entire experience, because I've also been shown that some soul has already experienced all that has been experienced or could have been experienced. This explains why history repeats itself. So the Holy Literature says God is every person and every soul has the source Godhead. When people merge back with the oneness and lose their uniqueness, collective speaking is wrong. Your soul has its own source, its own Godhead, and every soul has the same abilities and freedom to express themselves. the freedom to express their soul through creation. In many prior interviews, I've indicated that your soul is entirely free to perform such things. Therefore, you can't have absolute freedom with a constraint. According to the Bible, many of its teachings are genuine. This is why it's true but distorted. Though distorted, there's truth in the framework we live in. Many religious people look at how God created the construct, the waters above, but somehow they believe and give their power away to something that is not of the creation of this place, and then they start to serve the very evil they try to fight, not realizing it because underneath a mass deception, eyes can't see. They've infused religion with terror, which is the best method to govern the soul. Fear causes you to act in a state of uncertainty. Because you don't know, you fear the unknown and loss. In love, there is no loss, judgment, fear, control, or loss. It's always free. Most and some religion is physical. Religion uses man-made parables and tales about the physical body, electromagnetic field, brain cloud stone, and journeying down all those things. Like I said before, there's still truth in religion's text, but that's undercoated by fear, and it's almost like Chinese whispers. So the original version of the text was very simple, okay? And then through destroying the records physically here, history resetting or whatever, his story, etc., you start to get passed down whispers. Many people speak without realizing their words have power. It's powerful, especially when you speak with intent, and your words have a resonance. When you speak a certain way to yourself out loud, your cells vibrate to match the frequency of your words. This is why people heal themselves. They believe in a miracle, say, "I'm not going to be sick," and then they heal themselves. This has been proven by placebo. If you believe something that much, people typically talk about God as a single being who controls everything, but that's not true. God is every soul, not one. Okay, out-of-body experiences have taught me that as above, so below, as within, so without. We had 13 months. We were supposed to have 13. The moon and other factors dictated 12 months with 28 days each. Thus, 13 entities created the 12 realms, etc. I've learned that. As the creator of everything, God is every soul. All creation is built on frequency and energy. The physical body is electromagnetic in itself. The physical body is that. It generates electromagnetic fields. Since your soul is electromagnetic, everything in this creation is frequency, energy, and sound, which forms tones. This is why each soul is unique. We're so different that we're not even close to being the same. We each have a unique soul expression, spark, essence, frequency, or tone. Thus, every soul is unique, as I learned from my 16-year-old out-of-body experience and subsequent controlled near-death experiences. I learned that without each soul, things would be out of balance and different. Crossover reminds you of beings you don't know, yet you feel their frequency and soul. Everything is there. We know each other. This is why all is shown when you fully transition crossover, control, or what I'm talking about. Every soul can see and know everything because it's recorded. Energy and frequency are health's future. When certain foods and frequencies disrupt the body's electromagnetic field, things break down. It is scientifically true that your heart generates an electromagnetic field, as I explained at the outset. This field encompasses more than the body, so when you enter a room, you can immediately sense and feel something. Due to your electromagnetic nature, 2 women will sync their periods when they enter a room or place. You're talking. So when someone gets sick or a cold, it's not because they're spreading a disease, but because their field is causing another's to detox. It activates detox mechanisms for colds, illnesses, viruses, and other poisons in your body. Consider manifesting something in your life. For instance, you envision it. You begin, right, the vacuum is dark. You illuminate creativity. Start there. Close your eyes and see the black emptiness, the beginning of everything. You conceive it and create light. Darkness always precedes light. Darkness is the real state, the vacuum, the black space, and light always came from it because it holds all hues. So you start there, picture it, and create light. You imagine, and create what you want. You stay focused after seeing that. Keep focused on your intended result and outcome. As you walk that route, use your words, walk in honesty, walk in love, and don't get distracted here or there. Just focus on what you desire. Because focusing your spirit, electromagnetic field, and soul energy into one item is like a speed train. Somebody else is this and this. The same goes for the out-of-body state I teach. How to leave your body. People that are focused and disciplined succeed with this. I realize we have time, but your body has an electromagnetic field, as I've said several times during this conversation. The electromagnetic field, or magnetic field, of the body is strong when awake. This binds the soul, right? That field disappears with death. Therefore, the soul can leave freely. You can control this by lowering the body's magnetic field to let the soul go. We do this every night before bed, but nobody notices. Here, they access their dreams and experience the out-of-body, controlled condition. People confuse this with astral, lucid, and other things, but they are accessing dimensional space. That includes dreams, which are thought forms, and dimensional space access points. Think you're creating a dimensional space to experience. Many near-death experiencers say they have a strong belief system of something negative, fearful, and when they die and cross over, they temporarily experience that. They say, "I've had enough," step out of fear, and then they access all things again. Whatever will access the light again, right? I apply it to this circumstance also. I'll repeat myself, but I want to continue. Another person who has experienced a near-death experience and had to regulate out-of-body state using my concepts has confirmed this. He remarked that the controlled out-of-body condition was more informative than his near-death experience since he went in with intention and focus. According to his account, which is on my YouTube channel, near-death experiences are like being pushed out of a plane. Imagine two skydivers, A and B, in the plane. A near-death experience is like being pushed out of the plane without knowing where you're going, what's happening, or where you're going to land, while a controlled out-of-body state is like buying a ticket to get on the plane and getting a briefing on what's going to happen, where you can jump, and how to land. Thus, when you jump out of the plane, you know what's occurring and where you're headed without the chaos of you know what happened. The out-of-body state is simply achieved by regulating the magnetic field and decreasing it to a state where the soul can depart. I appreciate being here and the audience's attention. I appreciate your time and contribution to spreading information. Visit j.com to learn more about me and my work. You'll find everything I do, educate, etc. Thank you, though.